So in this video here, we got timber faller is going to attempt to drop this big pine, and as you can see, it presents just a little bit of a challenge, but he'll get it done. He knows what he's doing. So the first step that he's doing here, this is called a face cut. The top cut he did there, I've heard it called a sight cut. I actually heard a logger call it that once. But this whole process here is, well, it's a pretty important process. I've seen so many suburban Joes attempt to fall a tree, and it goes horribly wrong because they didn't know what the hell they're doing. This bottom cut, I've always called it the undercut. That's what I've heard other guys call it as well. Now what he's attempting to do here is he needs to make the top cut and the undercut match perfectly like a V. And so he has to go back in there and cut more of the wood out to try to make those cuts match up. Just another important part of the process to make this tree fall the way you want it to. Another thing I'll point out is this tree was a little bit awkward. Right where he's trying to make this face cut, the bottom of the tree or the butt of the tree flared out, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. Timber fallers generally want to do all the work on one side of the tree, but in this case he's got to go to the other side to make the top cut and the undercut match up. Once he has his face out of the tree, his face cut out of the tree, then he's going to start on the final cut. And what he's doing here is he's looking at the other side. He doesn't want to cut all the way through the tree. He wants to leave just a little bit of holding wood, or hinge wood as they call it. The other thing I wanted to point out is he took extra care not to damage that little tree, because that's future generations there. In 150 years, his great-grandson or great-granddaughter will be back here to cut that little tree when it grows to be a big, mature one. So what he's doing here is he's putting a wedge in his cut, and that will prevent the tree from leaning back and pinching his saw. So as he continues to cut, he's going to be watching the top to see when the tree starts to move. And he's also going to be watching the gap where he made his cut. Once he starts to see more daylight in his cut, he knows that tree's going.